Andor is the greatest Star Wars to ever exist. My grade scale is must see, must stream for the stuff that is a must see, must stream. Check it out for the mid, pass for the worst. Me, I'm Pablo Gunner, and I'm here to review Andor Season 2. This is a loaded review, and I'm going to get into exactly why. First of all, this was supposed to be like 4 or 5 seasons. But when Disney wasn't getting enough money from Disney Plus, they decided to mash all of those seasons into one season. And even after seeing the first season, I was like, there's no way that they can match this level of quality and intensity and the way that they did things in this first season. They took it slow, but it was phenomenally done. Brilliant. I was like, they're going to mash up 4 or 5 seasons into one season. It's going to be rushed. It's going to be garbage. The quality's not going to be there. And they proved me wrong. They proved me wrong in every way. This was released in chunks of 3 episodes every week. But in the first arc, they show us what it's like when a rebellion is new, when it's really so much in its infancy that it's self destructive. It destroys itself and it's just chaos. And they also reintroduce characters from the previous season and killed one of them off in a way that hurt so much that I was like, you're not going to be able to repeat this 2 more times. There's no way. But they did, and in different ways. So, in the next string of episodes, this was focusing more on Mon Mothma, and but it also, of course, intertwined with Cassian, which is he wants to quit, he wants to be done, but she's diving deeper. And you have Bail Organa, who is also connecting with her, but it seems some of his people may be spies. So it's crazy because it's like she doesn't know who to trust, and he thinks he can trust certain people. And it's just so crazy because the intensity just keeps building and building and building and building. And she delivers this speech to the Senate and then has to disappear. And he is the person that is needed for this situation. And it's just so brilliant and so phenomenal that it's different, but it is so superb. Then for the string of the last 3 episodes, it almost doesn't feel like it's concluded because the true conclusion to this is Rogue One. This was getting that information, the information that the Death Star is being created, what happens to the Gormans, which was felt very much like the French in World War II. They finally get the information about the Death Star, about how this is all connected. And then you have to see, like, are they going to get caught? Are they not going to get caught? Are they going to actually take this information at face value? Who lives, who dies because of it and from it? And it's really sad and it's really messed up. And you see the casualties and you see why things have to be done. You may not agree with them necessarily, but in the end, you go, this is what rebellions are made on and of, which is sad and messed up, which but they have to get organized. That is the thing, is rebellions have to get organized in order to succeed. And it's hard, like, what do you believe, what do you not believe? But there's also that speech that goes that oppression and tyranny, they're fragile. It requires a lot of constant focus, which is another reason why I'm not entirely worried about what's going on. But that's just another reason this gives hope, and I can't wait to watch Rogue One. That's the other thing, is this is might be one of the few Star Wars projects that makes me go, I want to not only rewatch Rogue One, which might be the greatest movie of all Star Wars because this has enriched it, but also it enriches the original trilogy. But anyways, the point is that, like, this makes me want to revisit Star Wars. This man right here, and mind you, I know he was introduced in Rogue One, but they expanded his story with his own show, and how he's this reluctant hero, how he's constantly like wants to quit, and he just wants to be at peace. And I feel like that's me as well. Like, I related so much to him not just because of a big part of is how he looks, which is one thing because I love Luke, I love Han, I love a lot of the characters, but I just don't feel I looked like any of them until they introduced him, and I just love his character. I love his accent, and it just feels like that's me and my soul in so many ways. And I love this story, and I love this character. So that is why it is the greatest Star Wars project to me. The political ramifications and everything like that in our current times, in our current world, and everything that's going on. And that's why it is a must see, must stream without a doubt, but it's also the greatest Star Wars thing to ever exist. Check out the merch at TNT on the store. You can find merch like this on sale with free shipping, and it goes to Palestine children.